Well, so this happened. I completely ruptured my Achilles tendon. So it looks like I'm going to be homebound for a little while. Luckily, I was able to get a ton of video of a few upgrades before this happened. I don't think I'm going to be able to do a lot more videos after, as I can't move very well. However, I did do an upgrade to my storage server. I had to replace a motherboard on Viper, which blew up after I did the storage server replace. So I got a ton of videos. This is going to be one part of possibly 3 on the upgrade of the storage server. Basically removing an old IBM server and replacing it with a rack mount 4U chassis that's going to give me a lot more space to add way more hard drives and upgrade for Chia. So stay tuned. This is going to be one of 4. I'm going to try a little intro, and then we're going to do a little outro sneak peek at the part 2. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks. Okay, so today we're going to be going and picking up a computer that I probably shouldn't be picking up, but it's such a good deal that I'm actually driving to Montreal, which is about 2 hours away, to pick it up. And it's a beautiful day for driving. Unfortunately, I've been driving a lot, so a little tired, but let's make a thing out of this. Stay tuned. Looks like it's time for a beer. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. Nice. All right. So we're on a patio, grabbing a beer, and then we'll head back home. We've got the computer. Long trip for a $160 computer, but kind of worth it, maybe. For the view, it's worth it. All right, that's the end of that one. So now we're gonna head home, see how the traffic is. Hopefully it's not too bad. But all in all, that was a successful trip. And now for the dirty ride home. It is finally time to replace my storage server here with a new server, a 4U server that's gonna go all the way back here. I'm gonna have to do some cleaning. But we need more than 6 hard drives, so this is the new... I need to stop doing this type of thing. Why do I keep buying more equipment? Oh my gosh, guys, what have I done? I've gone and purchased another computer. And what's this? Another rack mount server. My addiction knows no ends. Ew, grody. Yeah, this thing's a little bit dusty. Oh boy, we got some cleanup to do here. Whoa, gross. This case is absolutely huge, as you can see here. And we don't want the case. In fact, we're hoping to sell the case. And what we want is what's inside the case. Oh gosh, I can't believe how big this thing is. This is one of the biggest cases I've ever seen. It's beautiful, actually. And we're going to be putting this up for sale for sure, because I have no room for something like this in my house. This case is extremely dusty, but it's got an insane air cooler. Be Quiet massive cooler. It's got an i7 2600K inside. It's only got a 650 power supply, which I'm going to be talking about here in a little bit. It's got space for 12 3.5-inch drives, and the only thing that we actually want out of this is the motherboard, the CPU, and the power supply, and the RAM. There's 16 gigs of RAM. So we're going to be dismantling, taking everything out here, and then cleaning the case, basically taking everything out of the case because it's got, it just has so much dust, and then we're going to put up for sale. Oh wow, look at that. Yeah, look at that. That is just, I'm gonna zoom in here for you guys. It is just like, look at that dust. Oh, look at that. This thing has not seen use for a very long time. And I'm going to show you what we're going to be doing with this computer. We're going to be replacing my IBM 3650 Model 1 because it is a power hog and there's no more room for expansion on that server. It's being used for my Plex storage, and we're going to be replacing that. So right now, I'm just going to be taking everything out, and then we're going to have to clean this thing probably outside. So probably time lapse this a little bit. All right, we're gonna have to clean that server up later because it's raining outside and it's too dusty to clean it in here. So I'm gonna show you the rack that we purchased that we're gonna be replacing the IBM server with. It's a 4U rack, and it's got space for 12 drives here, which is great. So automatically 12 drives will fit up in the front. The IBM server currently has 6 drives in it, so I'll automatically be filling up 6, and then that gives me expansion for an additional 6 drives. So I'll have tons of room to expand. Also, I'll be able to put more drives in there for Chia expansion, which seems ridiculous, but so this is a nice case. Problem that we're gonna have right now is we have to install some server rails onto it. I'm gonna have to cut the rails properly and drill the holes into this case here in order to install the rails at the very top of the case. We need to make sure that the rails are at the very top because this is gonna go at the bottom of my rack and I don't have slots. I don't have U slots any lower than the very bottom. So wish me luck. I've done this about 20 times already with my other servers, but anyways, we're gonna install the racks, take everything out of this, and we're gonna install the motherboard as well as a new CPU cooler because obviously that thing is not fitting in this thing. So this is what I'm going to be replacing right here. It's an old IBM 3650 Model 1. It's got 6 drives in there right now and it runs my Plex storage. So it's got about 50 terabytes of space in there. This is a spare drive, a 6 terabyte drive that is empty, but it will be filled shortly because I've got a lot of people on Plex constantly, and we're going to be replacing it with a 4U rack, which is over there. And what we have to do is we have to install our rails onto it. So just grab the rails. So these things, actually these are not the ones that go installed, but on this side, I have to attach them to the side here. I also have to Dremel off some pieces of the siding, so I'll do that in jiffy. So this is where I have to cut some of the rail. So this is the rail. The issue is that we have to have this at the utmost top that we can get it. So essentially we need it to be essentially right there. So the lid goes to this part here, and we need this at the very top because the only remaining rivets are at the very bottom of my chassis here. So there's only two more spots here, and this is basically right up against this server. So there's a little bit, there's about a half a U there, but we're not playing with much. So what that means is I'm going to have to, which is really fucking annoying, I'll just cut this, I'll lop this off, but then I'm gonna have to cut this right across here. This piece here is useless. I don't even know why they have it here. I think it's for cable management, so you can connect some things at the back. But I can Dremel this straight across so that it'll be a straight line. And then we can just mount it, essentially screw it in like this without having this piece or this piece hitting the above server, because the above server is going to be right here. So this is going to hit it when I'm sliding it in and out. So I got to cut all these things off on both sides. Safety first. Okay, and now here comes the cutting. Alright, so now that we have these pieces trimmed off, so this piece, this piece, this piece, and then that back piece here, we can actually mount this pretty close to the very top of the case. So the top of the case, the lid comes to here, so we're going to want to put this basically right up against that so that it'll be right at the top of the mount. So we'll measure this out straight, and then we're going to be drilling 2 holes. One here through the case and probably one here. So those will be the 2 mounting holes. So I'll be drilling 2 holes through here to secure it once it's level, and then we'll do that on the other side, and this rack will be able to be put into my case here, or my rack. Okay, so this is really annoying because I have to screw through here. I'm gonna have to remove this temporarily to put in the nut on the other side, which is, again, just really annoying. This is really fucking annoying. I'm having to take out the entire front portion of this to install the rails. So much work. So much work. But this is why I'm called custom computing. Everything is a custom job. Nothing's easy. Nothing is just throw it in and it will fit, it will work. Everything is, all right, Dremel this, Dremel that, cut this, cut that, make it fit, unscrew this, unscrew that. But when it's finished, it looks great. But it is a pain in the ass doing it. Okay, so I got the full front off. It's ridiculous that I have to do this. Anyways, now this is completely open, and now I'm going to be able to install these rails, and I'm going to have to also, because I didn't do the holes on the other side before, I'm going to have to really measure this, because I'm not going to put all this back to measure the other rail. Incredibly infuriating. All right, I'll bite. Here we go. All right, guys, so that was part 1. Part 2, we're going to be going through some of the modifications that I had to do with the power supply. Had to create custom cables for the SATA connectors, as well as removing all of the existing infrastructure, tossing it into the new server, which we are deeming IceMan, sticking with the Top Gun theme. So there's going to be a quick flash of what to expect next video, as well as any videos that you want on Mad Max or affinity settings. You can take a look at my videos up here, here, and here, here. All right, guys, stay tuned for the next one. Thanks.